Hey everyone, I just thought I'd bring this turbo out and have a play. I've recently had the engine out. You can probably see by the new gasket just there. So come and have a ride with me and I'll tell you what I've done to it. So it's what we call the triple bypass for turbo owners. Every 20,000 miles these twins are well known for packing up charging. The stator in the back of the engine gets over warm in the oil and there's no real cooling for it, so they burn out, and it's almost religiously every 20,000 miles. Now this one's done 42,000, so I couldn't understand why it had gone that long on the stator, because the original owner that I spoke to told me that he's never had it done. So there's a possibility, when I took the engine apart, you could see it's been apart. There's a possibility that the second owner might have had it done and he didn't know about it. So it was a bit of a pain in the backside just getting the fairing and bits off, because there's a lot of plumbing on this bike, as you'll probably see on these photos that I'm posting up. And it was a little bit frightening, to be honest, because it's not something I've done before. So armed with my owner's manual and loads of photographs, I started to strip it down. When I did eventually get into the back of it, you could see that the stator had totally burnt out on about half of the actual stator, so that would explain why that packed up. The triple bypass that we talk about is because the amount of effort it takes to take that engine out, whilst it's out, it's also very advisable to change the cam chain and tensioner on it, and also the water pump seal. So as you see on the photographs, that's what I did, and as it turns out, the cam chain and tensioner, well, the cam chain basically, was about half to 2/3 worn. So I just replaced that whilst I was in there as well. So eventually I lost my mojo a couple of times. I really couldn't be bothered after a bit, and it sat there for a couple of months. But then I finally found my my mojo to get it going again and managed to finish it. It started up well. Initially it leaked from the water pump seal, and I was a little bit concerned about that, but a lot of owners that have done it said they always leak for the first few minutes until it seals up, and quite rightly it did. So I took it for a really good run and it ran absolutely beautiful. The charging system worked okay, there were no leaks from the water pump, and of course the cam chain was at its minimum setting, so that was going to future-proof it. Then I went to a petrol station, filled it up with the SO Super. Now the SO Super says it's E5. I looked on the website and they actually said it's ethanol free. So I run all of my older bikes on this SO ethanol free stuff. Went to start it up and it was running like a pig. Really lumpy, and I was thinking, oh no, because you can't get an ECU for these anymore. If this packs up on the ECU, it's probably just going to be a big heavy paperweight. So a little bit more research told me that it's quite common on these when they get older for the manifold pressure sensor to pack up. Now bear in mind this bike is a 1983. Even though it was registered in 87, it has obviously been sat around in a showroom for a while. And at low speed it used to chuff and puff, and to be honest with you, I think since I first bought it, every now and then when you go to pull away, to pop and bang a little bit. So research told me that the GSXR 1000 from 2007-ish had a manifold sensor that actually did the same job as the turbo, and it was about 1/3 of the size and obviously much more modern. So I swapped that over, cracked it up, and it ran beautifully. And ever since then it's just run without fault. It's never ever run so well as it does now.